wasn't threaded. Oh, it's so annoying. Hello. I've made a couple different patterns so far. So last year I made a couple robes. I'm in the process of making another robe that my mom's helping me with because that's complicated. I've made a skirt, and then the dress that I posted last time, and then that tote bag, which was more difficult than it should have been. So I have this pattern, and I thought might as well try it. I've never made a top, so I like this sort of vintage look, and I'm gonna go with this one, the short sleeve one. And I'm just using a cheap cotton that I have. I'll do it with cotton first, and if I like it, I have a couple other pattern or a couple other fabrics that I like. So if this goes well, I might make it again. But I thought I might as well try something probably a little bit more advanced than I'm ready for. But I'm going to just take my time, read the instructions a couple times, and go from there. I guess there's no rush, right? So there's no reason to be stressing out over something like this. Should be pretty cute. We'll see. How to tell when you really like a pattern? You buy it twice on accident. I have all of my pieces cut out. I'm gonna be doing this one here. And I'm just gonna do it in this white cotton that I have and treat it almost like a mock-up because I learned from the dress I made. And then I have this pattern, which I thought was really pretty, but I'm not sure if it's gonna look good in that pattern or not. I have a couple other fabrics too, so we'll see how it goes with white and then go from there. my battery died. So I have all of them cut out. These have interfacing as well as just the pattern. So now the next step is going to be to put the, looks like the back piece, and do the stay stitching and a couple pleats. And then putting the, I don't really know. I gotta read this again. We'll figure it out. I think I understand what it's telling me to do. So around this neck piece, I'm going to do the stay stitching, and then between the two notches I cut out, I'm going to go in at, I think it's at 5/8, and then a little bit before that, and do 2 long stitches, and then that's going to be pulled to do the gather, I think. At least that's what the instructions sound like it's telling me to do, so we'll see how that turns out. Alright, so now I just have to do the same thing on the other side of the back. I guess this is the back and that was the front. So I'll do the stay stitching around the neck, and then I'll mark out the points for the dart, which I'll do second. This one didn't have the, what's it called? Ruching, I think. The gathers, it didn't have the gathers on the shoulders, that's just on the front. So all I have to do is the stay stitching, and then I'll mark out all these little pleats. Amazon just showed up because they're creepy and they can read my mind. And speaking of reading my mind, my mom just got one of these magnets that will stay at like 5/8 or wherever you need to sew at, because, and just like keep your line straight. And we were talking about it, and then it came up on my Amazon recommended, which is super creepy, but also very helpful, so I'm not complaining. So this will help, because I find it really hard to see like where 5/8 is and like stay on that line. So I'll give this a try with this. Should make it a little bit easier. And it also got, this looks rusty already, and it looks like a mess, a bunch of junk in there, but it's to do like, what are they called? The rolled hems, because that's what I was struggling with the yellow dress, is to get the hem right. So this should help. So great timing, Amazon. Creepers. Okay, all the pleats are done. So now I'm gonna pin the front and back together, and then pull the little strings to do the gathers on the shoulder. So we got pleats for days right now. I don't know if you can even see that, but did all the pleats. So I'm going to and match this up. I feel like I should have done the stay stitching around the shoulder or the arms, but I guess since the sleeve is going in, it doesn't really matter. So this is the front with the, no it's not. What is this? This is the back. Oh, it closes in the back, duh. Okay, this is the back. So I'm gonna just, what? I'm gonna bring these corners in and then pull these strings until it matches. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. Pins to match the notches. So here's the 2 notches. I'm going to match those up and pin it. And then this little guy. Okay, let's see if this works. So have them pinned together at the edges, and now I'm supposed to pull these strings gently until it's flat. Why am I scared? I think I'll do a little bit on each side. Even now. So do the same on this side. It's pretty even. Well, I guess as even as it's gonna get. So I'm gonna continue pinning around and then sew all of the edges. And then it says to sew this and then press it. I'm guessing so it doesn't move around on us.
Snack break. Cheers. Base stitched the collar on the right side of the shirt, and then I have this other piece of the collar connected to the extension on the side, and I believe what this foreign language is telling me is that I'm supposed to fold the extension over to match the collar, and I think it's all gonna flip around and I don't know. It made sense to me a second ago, but we'll figure it out. Okay, think what it's saying is this. That's not the same length. What I thought it was saying is that this would, maybe it is, go along here. And that's definitely not the same length. Alright, so I know this side's gonna match, so I know that's gonna be folded over. Oh, center to the center. I'm gonna do what I think it's telling me to do, and then if it's wrong, whatever. Alright, moment of truth. Let's see if this works. So what I think it's telling me is I'm gonna flip, which if it's right, I need to fix this. I'm gonna flip this to the inside. It's not long enough. That has to be right, but it's like there's a piece missing or something, because this is supposed to do the same thing on the other side, I think. What? Alright, this has to be right, so I'm gonna have to figure it out. I did what, ow. I think it was telling me to do, so we'll see if it actually turns out. So got the pins out. Now I'm just gonna flip this to the inside, and it should give me a clean edge along the neck. That's right. That has to be right. Okay, I'm gonna trim the excess so it'll actually flip. Garbage. Perfect. Well, kinda. Day 3. I don't have that much left, so I should be able to finish it. This is where I am so far. I finished the collar yesterday, which was a puzzle, but I figured it out. I just have to, I might put some hemming tape or something there and just stick that down because it keeps popping up, but we'll see. The collar feels a little bit tight too, so we'll see when I try it on. I might have to do something to fix that. And then all these pleats down here, once I start fitting it, I might bring them up a bit higher just to make it fit better. So I have the sleeves and then the buttonholes and the buttons on back. And I think that's about it. So getting there. So shirt's all done. I just top stitched around the collar to make it actually sit flat. So I'll see what that looks like when it's actually on. It might be kind of messy. I haven't messed with the pleats yet. I'm gonna leave them like this until I try it on. All the buttons are done, and the buttonholes and the hem. And the last thing to do is this little tie that it has around the collar. But it says to do it in the same color of the fabric, but I thought the white would be kind of boring, so I'll do the white one just to follow the rules. But I have these two pretty fabrics that I might make another tie out of. I'm not sure which one yet. I might start with this one. I really like this one. And see how that looks with the white. I think that'll break it up a bit, make it a little less boring. But it's turned out pretty good so far. She done. I'm really proud of this one. So when I first, read the pattern and saw how many pieces it was and all that, I was kind of overwhelmed, thinking, what am I doing a pattern this advanced? I've always really loved vintage style, and especially 30s, 40s, 50s sort of area. And I clearly like this pattern because I bought it twice. So I'm glad I tried it. It turned out really well. I like how the sleeves are a bit wider. This is the first time I've done a collar, and I love these little collar pins. I just got this off of Etsy. I'm not crazy about the tie. I actually made it twice as long as what the pattern said. So I have no idea how it would even tie if it was the right length, which should be like right about here. I mean, that's tiny, that doesn't make sense. I'll probably wear a scarf with it or wear a sweater over it because it is a little baggy on the top, but overall it fits pretty well. I might one day switch the buttons out for something more neutral just so I can wear it with black or white. Or I might just wear black or white regardless because who cares? I really like it. Proud of myself for being able to get through that pattern. It took me about 3 days total. Just cutting out the pattern, after work one day and then pinning it and sewing it over 2 days. It's kind of how it worked. I have a couple other vintage 40s-ish patterns that I'll probably try, but also have some Christmas presents I have to make, some pajama bottoms, I have a bunch of flannel that I bought, and a couple robes to make. So lots of projects and ready to start the next one. Once again, this is where you decided to hang out?